It's really important to see what the actual return on investment and really track it and drill it down.
This is where it's all about the numbers.
The biggest thank you that they can give you is to refer family and friend.
It's more expensive, so generating returns is harder. Hello and welcome to today's water cooler. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of measuring ROI on marketing spend and why that's paramount and linked also really key into practice evaluation. So today Julie, one of our senior practice valuers, has joined me to talk about this. Obviously in a former guise, Julie, that was part of what you did there. You were a manager of
I was a manager of large private practice in the Midlands, and it was really important to see what the actual return on investment and really track it and drill it down to, is it worth it?
Yeah, and I suppose this is where it's all about the numbers, because ultimately, if we use a worked example for a second, so we've got £30,000 in additional revenue off the back of a 5k marketing spend. Now, on the face of it, that sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So sounds like we've made 6 times our money, but actually we haven't, because of that 30 grand. If I'm looking at it, even if you're delivering that as a principal, well, if I'm looking at that as an associate spend, I'm going to have to pay the associate 50% of that.
Exactly.
So my 30k becomes 15k. Now, of that 15k, let's say they're Invisalign cases. So let's say £3 a pop. We brought in 10 Invisalign cases at £500 in a appliance cost. So then that's another 5 grand. So that leaves me with my 10 grand, and I've spent 5 grand on marketing. So I've only got £5,000 left. Now that £5,000, by the time you've gone, but actually, I've got to pay the nurse's time, got reception time, I've got all the other incidental spends that are associated with delivering that Invisalign income for those 10 cases. On paper, you probably go, not worth it, or I'm at a cost equilibrium point, which is I haven't gained anything on my valuation. But here's the but, because this is what we were talking about earlier, is actually there is a but, isn't there?
There is. I mean, you've got to think of the bigger picture, as we sort of talked about, is the compound effect. So if you're providing an Invisalign case and, we've got that wow effect, that it's life-changing with the teeth, then they're going to refer a friend. So actually you can be saying to your patients, the biggest thank you that they can give you is to refer family and friend. So what you want to measure is actually that initial spend that you've got and the income that you've received. Look at it and measure it, month on month, just to see where that's growing.
So it's really important that, particularly now, marketing is so much more expensive than it was, whether it's pay-per-click or whether it's Groupon or whatever it is. It's more expensive, so generating returns is harder. Is you can't just rely on that first return. For marketing to be worthwhile, you've got to look at the life cycle of that patient, because it may well be not what they initially spend, but their life cycle as a patient within the practice. Then you go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or it's whether you're actually encouraging them all the way through that customer straight patient journey. So instead of that £30,000 being £30,000 and out, what you're getting off the back of that is if each one of them refers just one friend, then we'll say at £60,000. And fun enough, I was talking to our co-director. So he's had Invisalign, and he would actually say that since he's had Invisalign, he now most of his friends have had some kind of Invisalign all at the same practice. So there is that kind of knock-on compounding effect. But as a practice owner, that's something you've got to encourage.